Good morning, everybody. It's your girl Miracle Sims, and you're listening to God, Sex, and Love. Your daily dose of inspiration, the juice. It is July the 29th, 2024, and today the topic is New Horizons. Happy Monday. It's Happy Monday, everybody. I hope you guys had a wonderful weekend. Mine was just fine. Yes, mine was good overall. My weekend looked like this. Well, y'all get the juice Saturday morning, right? And then after that, your girl set off on the task of creating our little guy's classroom. Yes, 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 yes. We got some chores underway. We did a couple of things and then started setting up his classroom with some of the things we have. I do want to go to the store and get a few more things, but I'm happy. I'm happy with how it's looking thus far. And I'm hoping that it will be inspirational to him, encouraging, and everything like that. It was nice to have that moment to, have NJ involved and also my husband and everything like that. And these are the things, man, at the end of the day that I can appreciate, right? And so that's pretty much what Saturday looked like. Us getting some of that stuff together Saturday morning. And then the rest of the evening, we just kind of chilled. Everybody did their own little thing. Um, yeah, I feel like on Saturday we might have watched a couple of videos together. Um, is that when we watched the cheese making video and all that stuff? I can't remember, but anyway, um, but yeah, I think for the most part, we just pretty much chilled on Saturday. I read over, what I needed to teach, different stuff like that, rested, all that good stuff. Sunday. So my Sunday was good as well. Y'all know that again, I work over there at the church in Mountain West. So all of that went well. I worked my 2 gatherings, sat my 3rd one. Got a word, shout out to Pastor Mo, giving them on time words. I mean, again, for me, that's the confirmation that I'm in the right place at the right time, doing the right thing. When the messages are resonating in things of that nature. I don't know, it just reminds me of my cultivation. Yes, that time when I was in Florida and I was doing my deep dive into the Bible and different things of that nature. And then I would go to church and the pastor will be teaching and preaching about the same that I would be studying at home, on. And so those things felt nation back in the day. And so a similar thing is happening now at Mountain West. So shout out to Mountain West, man. Yeah, I'm trying to think so there was a couple of significant things. So yesterday family connect, but we didn't fully participate in that, but maybe we'll let in all about that in the after show if he feels like talking about it. And then afterwards there was I guess our first dance rehearsal for the dance team or for the new worship team for the kids. We really didn't do too much, but I mean it happened, so that is something. So yeah, man, that's pretty much what my weekend looked like. By the time I got back home, I had a chance to rest. And then when I got back up yesterday, I don't know, I felt led to just kind of stay in the spiritual content side of things. And so when I got back home yesterday, instead of watching some TV or something like that, like how I usually would do on Sunday, I decided to just listen to the word. And I ended up kind of listening to Acts about the Holy Spirit and things of that nature. I did a little research about the Holy Spirit, and then I ended up listening to Acts, and then I took my nap and woke up to Acts 20, which was standing out to me. So then after that, I was looking at Acts 20 and all that different type of stuff. And then your girl started to engulf my heart and mind on NJ and his upcoming school situation. So those of you all, basically, I'm just going to say it again. Basically, we've signed them up for a virtual public school. And on one hand, I know that it's about to be a whole new experience for me and my family. Like at the end of the day, this is a brand new thing that we're embarking on. Not necessarily with him, because the preschool that we had him in, or the preschool class that we had him in, was virtual. So for him, it's, I guess, normal, right? But for me and my husband, obviously we went to brick and mortar schools. And so, it's different for us in regards, a different experience. And the interesting thing is, the question that I keep getting over and over again is, why did y'all decide to do that? And on one hand, I feel like it's kind of obvious why I decided to do that. I mean, for those that are, seeing and hearing the things I'm seeing and hearing, I mean, I think a lot of parents are concerned about their children in school and the things that's being taught and done these days. But I mean, just in case, because again, we know that everybody ain't seeing and hearing the same things. But I mean, I think I've been open and honest on here about how that has been a concern for me over the past few years, knowing that he's getting ready to go to school and be of school age, but still seeing and hearing crazy things happening, even in the preschools, right? And things like that. Let's not even talk about high school, college, middle school, any of that stuff. Like, even in preschools, the things that people are trying to introduce the kids to and stuff like that, I'm just not for or with, right? And parent, I've been concerned about the things I've been hearing. Now, yeah, I know I'm in the quote unquote Bible Belt and things of that nature. And so, maybe it might not be that big of an issue here in the state of Georgia, but at the same time, how am I to know that? You know what I'm saying? Because everybody has their own agendas and things of that nature. And even with what we're getting ready to do, I mean, technically it's still a public school. It's just virtual. So, I mean, I still got to keep my eyes and ears open to whatever the, teachers or whatever the case may be are going to be teaching. But my whole thing is, so one, I was already considering being hands-on anyway in that regard. Even when I was telling my husband last night, I'm like, this is way more hands-on than I was thinking, but at the same time, I'm excited about it. I'm looking forward to see like how it's going to do, like what's like for me and my family, how is it going to shift things. I know it's going to shift a lot of different things. But yes, New Horizons. This is where the inspiration for New Horizons came from, because I've about all the new horizons that are on the table right now, right? Again, next week, my son will be starting school, kindergarten, and things of that nature. It's a new horizon for me to be a quote unquote learning coach and assisting him in this capacity. It's a new horizon that we're getting ready to embark on 21 days of prayer with the church. And my husband and I are going to be, participating in our own ways and stuff like that. And I asked him, last night if he was going to come Sunday, because, Sunday is what we call back to school blessing, and, and everything. And so, yeah, so he plans to come and everything like that. So that's cool and good too, so it's just, a lot of things, new things happening, in the next week for us. And that, again, the 21 days of prayer is also going to include fasting,
have 2
friends.
more weeks for my school.
Yes. So like I said, it's going to also include fasting. And so we've been, talking about how we're going to do that in our household and things like that. And so that's going to be new too. You know what I'm saying? Because now it's like, okay, we got to be more intentional about, meals, and all that different type of stuff. And I'm sure it's going to build up, some good new habits for us. And we're going to see what all sticks and whatnot after the 21 days of prayer. But regardless, man, there's a lot of new things on the horizon. And so I was taking time to just thinking about, that stuff last night and today. Like last night, I was working on my son's schedule and stuff like that about, okay, what different days going to look like. I can already see like what courses or classes that he's going to be having to do. And so I'm like, okay, well, what's going to be outside of those things? I want to make the first day of school special for him. So that's another thing as well. But I know I asked him today that he want to know about it, and he said he wants to keep it a secret. So I'm not going to say too much about the plans for the first day of school. But yeah, like I said, I do want it to be special for him, and things of that nature. And so, yeah, man, there's a lot of new things on the horizon, and your girl has been engulfed in that. And I felt led to talk about that this morning as well. Where are you, friend? Are you embarking on a lot of new things as well? Are you I guess in a season of transition or new things on the horizon. Now, I know that we can make all the plans in the world, and at the end of the day, what God plan is what's going to stand. I think basically as I was first looking up, these ideas about new horizon and things of that nature, it just was, the verses that I was coming across at openbible.info was just constantly reminding me that, again, we can make the plans, but it's God that orders the steps and this, that, and the other. And so, and that's a little bit different from what I had in mind in regards to New Horizons, but we can't go without acknowledging that, bro, right? And so, and I can sit here and be making all these plans for my son and his schedule and things like that, but then things could be drastically different. Who knows, what life is going to bring, and things of that nature. And so we need to be, aware and of that, so again, that's probably why the conversation that Pastor Mo was talking about yesterday, when he wrapped up the series, is this the end? Maybe that's why it's resonating in some ways, because I mean, we always hear the phrase "stay ready so you ain't gotta get ready," right? But yeah, so that was standing out to me yesterday as I was receiving the word. And the main thing of importance, even in spite of, again, the educational journey, our household, my career, my husband's career, all the amazing things of life, the main thing of importance is making sure that, again, we are in alignment with God and his will and his way, and understand that, again, we need to be living as if God is coming back today. So that's what our life should be looking like. Now, yes, continue to do the rest of the things, right? Grow, be fruitful, and multiply as God has told us to do. And that was another thing that Pastor Mo was talking about as well yesterday, about, living life and and all those things, and doing, again, what's important, and growing and seeking God to grow the community and doing your part in the city and in all these things. Yes, these things are important as well. But again, living your life, again, according to God and his will and his way, is the most important thing. So that's being said first about the new horizons, right? Now let's just talk about, I guess, again, what I was receiving this morning. And so I took a look at, I went to chatholybible.com after, again, I looked at several different phrases in openbible.info, and they weren't necessarily resonating. So I just went to chatholybible.com and I plugged in, what's going on. This is coming up next week, that's coming up, this coming up, that coming up, my son, our family. Because I don't really have, verses or whatnot to start with. And so that's what it did. It gave me my, some verses and whatnot. And so basically all the verses that I am sharing today came from the chatholybible.com app. And this is, I believe, what I feel led to share. Okay. So obviously the first three verses, the three verses that I felt led to share, friends, are not new. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure I've shared them on here multiple times. But again, since we're talking about this whole thing about new horizons and things of that nature, these are all good to reflect on and remember. So Jeremiah 29:11, for I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, thoughts of peace and not of evil, to give you an expected end. Now, I kind of mixed two different translations when I wrote that down this morning, because I started to write down what the app was saying, and then I went to the Bible app, and I finished up with writing the King James version. So it might be, sound a little different or mixed, because it is technically. But as I was writing down this verse this morning, I couldn't help but think about, like, my life, right? And I couldn't help but think about, again, like, this whole journey I'm getting ready to embark on with my son and things of that nature. I'm like, I don't know if somebody had told me 10 years ago, or whatever the case may be, if they'd be like, oh, you're going to be a stay-at-home mom and you're going to be teaching your son and X, Y, and Z. Like, I don't know what I would have said. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't think I ever thought about these things, or doing these things in this capacity before. Yeah, I thought about being like more, an involved mom. Maybe I would be at the PCO meetings, or, things of that nature. But to really, really be engulfing on like a homeschool experience, On one hand, it's a, like I said, brand new territory, brand new thoughts, brand new ideas that I don't think I even really considered per se until like this season, and everything like that. But it's not new in regards to, again, it's what I grew up with in some ways, because again, my mom had a daycare. And I guess I would say like what preschool type situation. You can comment below and tell the people what you had. But she pretty much homeschooled me to a certain extent, at least before kindergarten, and you know what I mean, and that type of thing. And I do remember going to a preschool at some point. I to work at one. But for the most part, like, my training or my like first formative years were with her, being on a schedule and all that different type of stuff. So on one hand, I guess this has been ingrained in me, or whatever the case may be. So now, I don't think I told y'all fully all the reasons why I'm considering this, and maybe I'll talk about it more in the after show, because maybe it's not that important to fully share. But again, there's something that about this particular journey right now that is exciting to me. I'm like, okay, as I'm making the schedule and stuff like that, I'm like, this is nice. Okay, now I'm gonna know like what he's doing. Now I'm gonna know what's being taught. Now I'm gonna be involved in, like even the whole process, even as he gets older, if we continue down this process and stuff like that, and he continues going to school this way and everything, like, when he turns in his assignments, I'll know what the grades are, things of that nature. And so it's not like waiting until you get your report card to see, like, we can be in communication with the teachers. Like this is like I said, it's way more involved than I probably ever imagined that I would be. But at the same time, again, there's something that's beautiful about it. And I would say that what's giving me some peace about this thing is God. At the end of the day, I feel like this may be a part of his ultimate plan. And he, sowed those seeds in me as a young child to receive that from my mom, to now be giving that to my son. Yes, in a different capacity. But I'm just grateful that opportunities like this are available. And, I'm excited, man. It sounds like there's going to be a lot of, good interactive events to be able to do, field trips, and and I can sit here and think about, okay, how do I want to reward him if he does good for the week, or different things like that, where how involved are we as parents, man, in our children's education? You know what I mean? Like it seems to me that we need to be more involved. And so shout out to those individuals that are embarking on this journey as well. I mean, there were several different parents ranges and stuff like that at the orientation that we went to last week, I think it was, and stuff like that. And not to be like everybody else is wrong. Like, I get it. Everybody might not be able to do this. You know what I'm saying? But the fact that my career and my life has led me in this direction, and what, like I said, surprising in some ways, but at the same time, and I'm not necessarily overwhelmed. I don't know. We're going to see what the Lord do and how things go, if the Lord will, that we get there. But at the same time, like I said, it's not that foreign of an idea. Because even when I think about before I became a mom, I had a lot of time at home. You know what I'm saying? Because I was, on call for different gigs and stuff like that. And then sometimes gigs wouldn't book, so I wouldn't be working. And, so I would be at that type of stuff with you guys when I did Miracles Mirror back in the day and stuff like that. And so again, I feel like, again, everything just kind of fit in a way for God to just work this situation out. And so again, he had the plan at the end of the day. I shared all that to say in real time. This is what God's plan has looked like in my life. This is how it has unfolded. And I'm at peace, man. I'm at peace with it, and I'm looking forward. And I'm, again, the new horizon. So let me share these other verses with y'all. It's Isaiah 43:19. It says, "Behold, I will do a new thing. Now it shall spring forth. Shall ye not know it? I will even make a way in the wilderness and rivers in the desert." As I was thinking about different things, that I wanted to do, and, different ways to prepare and stuff like that. Like, there's things that still aren't necessarily prepared for this new journey that we're about to embark on. But like I said, at least the classroom area is prepared. So, I'm, even if I didn't add anything else to the classroom, right now, I feel like we got everything we need to get going. And so, I want to add in little things to make it special, you know what I'm saying, and stuff like that. Like, because he's going to be sitting at the desk that we have in the living room, and it's very like vintagey looking. So I want to like, just put some little things to keep his creativity sparks and stuff like that, But even if I didn't do those things, again, I'm grateful for what has been done, and I'm grateful for our family, man. The grandmothers and stuff like that. It's like they want to be involved, they want to help, they want to share, things of that nature. I got some information yesterday about, what do the grandmothers want to do. I know, talking to, for example, my mom, she's already, she's like, where I'm excited about this, where's the list of his, school supplies, and all this type of stuff, and she's looking forward to being a learning coach with him as well, which is good for me, because I'm like, hey man, I know that I'm gonna have to prioritize some more self-care. I'm gonna have to prioritize some more, me time, and I'm gonna, look, try to get some vacations on the books and things of that nature. And so I'm like, hey, grandparents that want to step up and be learning coach while we going on vacation, whatever, by all means, you know what I'm saying? Like, that would be great, that this is what we need you, this is the times, and stuff like that. And so that is a blessing, man, to have a covering in that regard, to have, both families to be excited and willing to help us and things like that. Like, this kid has been super blessed since he was born. Like, we haven't had to worry about no food, clothes, nothing, you know what I mean? Because we have been blessed and things of that nature, and it's just continuing. Now that he's starting school, it's just continuing. And so, man, yeah, shout out to the families, man. Shout out to, again, those that are in our community, our circle of influence, and what they call it, I forget the name, what they say, but our village. Yeah, our village, man. Shout out to our village, because they, are assisting in ways that I didn't even consider them to do. Like, every time I think about something, I'm thinking about me doing it. I'm not necessarily thinking about, like, for example, my mom saying, hey, where's the school supplies list? You know what I'm saying? Like, when I'm thinking about the school supplies list, I'm thinking about that I'm about to go buy some. I'm not thinking that my mom's going to do it. I'm not thinking that my mother-in-law is going to do it. I'm not thinking any of that. You know what I'm saying? So the fact that they offer and they, I'm just blessed. You know what I'm saying? So I'm grateful for that. But anywho, let me give you guys another verse, y'all. And it is Psalm 37:5. It says, commit your way to the Lord, trust in him, and he will do this. Friends, again, like I said before I started this thing, like, we can make all the plans in the world, but at the end of the day, if your plans ain't going according to God's will, his way, then that's not what's going to happen. Now, I know that's tough to receive, because sometimes, again, God allows things, right? He allows you to make the choice. He allows you to, have the consequences of your actions and your choices and things like that. And you're like, well, God, if you're in control, then why don't you X, Y, and Z? Well, friend, at the end of the day, again, we got free will. He's not forcing us to do the plans, and things of that nature. He's telling us, hey, I got plans for you. Hey, it's, to prosper you, good plans, not for evil, things of that nature. But if we choose not to walk in them, friends, then, hey, man, you can't get surprised. You can't get confused as to why things may not be working out for you. So these are things to think about. And I guess I am encouraging and inspiring everybody, hopefully, to commit your way to the Lord and trust him, man, and trust him. And that's ultimately the juice, man. If you guys want to go deeper, there's a few verses in the Go Deeper section that you can peruse and let marinate on your heart, souls, and minds. But yeah, man, that is the juice, man. New horizons. If you're embarking on some new horizons, I hope you're encouraged and inspired for what I've shared. So the Bible verse of today is Hebrews 12:1. It says, wherefore, seeing also our compass about with so great a cloud of witnesses, let us lay aside every weight and sin which doth so easily beset us, and let us run with patience the race that is set before us, friends, or excuse me, that is set before me. That is set before me. Friends, I hope you guys enjoyed this juice this morning. Thank you so much for listening to God, Sex, and Love, your daily dose of inspiration, the juice. I pray you guys can go forth and have a wonderful day, and I look forward to talking to you all tomorrow, if the Lord's will. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
And there you go, Facebook, YouTube, Rumble, anybody to the sound of my voice. I hope that you all are encouraged and inspired. Thank you so much for listening, watching, subscribing, and sharing all those wonderful things. NJ did a pretty good job today, but he was making a little bit of noise. So, I don't know why he decided to make the little noise he did make. I guess he didn't learn his lesson from last week. I don't know, but like I said, man, I know there's a lot of things on the horizon for us, new stuff. I'm excited for NJ's first day of school. It'll be next Wednesday. And actually, too, I forgot to mention that today makes a month before my birthday, y'all. So technically, yeah, it's 1 month till my birthday because it's July the 29th. Y'all know my birthday is August 29th. And yeah, so that's something as well. And yeah, man, this is an exciting journey, man. So we finished up the virtual orientation yesterday. So that was nice. We had some time to talk about some different things like bullying and online safety. Okay. Something. Remember what we talked about? Lord. So yeah, it was talking about online safety and all that different type of stuff. So it was good to kind of have that conversation with him. Even though I know he's 5, so he may not fully understand everything right now. So we're going to obviously have the conversation with it again when he gets older. But I mean, I don't too much plan for him to have too much access. It's going to be pretty much he just do his online, and I'm going to be right there. So outside of that, he shouldn't be on nothing else. But it's good to see that stuff and know that the school has provided that information for us to talk to our children about and things like that. But yes, yesterday as well, once I got back up from my nap, and yeah, like I said, I just really have been just thinking about the new things that are to come. So, but yeah, as for today, man, I'm supposed to record an episode of the GSL Talk Show. That's another thing too. I was like, am I going to stop doing that? How am I going to handle that? I mean, right now I kind of record sporadically anyway. I just pretty much record when somebody picks a day and a time. And like I said, I think if I'm not mistaken, like I did a little bit of quote unquote math the other day because I had a guest reach out and say, hey, do you know when my episode's coming out? And I'm like, I think it's like in 31 weeks. And then when I did the calculations on 31 weeks, that would have been like in February next year. And I'm like, I don't recorded that much where I've already got episodes. So episodes come out all Friday up until next year. So that's a blessing. So even if I did take a break on recording, which I thought about, should I do that or not? Should I, for the month of August, like not record any GSL Talk Show and just let the ones that are already recorded flow while we get into this new routine. But we'll see, because I do have a couple of people that are on the schedule. So it might not be a big deal to do that. But anyway, yeah, man, like I said, a lot of new things happening around here, and I'm looking forward to see like what happens, what all is going to, what it's going to be like and stuff. But I'm grateful for where I am. I'm grateful again, even for the church and stuff like that. And that's the cool thing too. I'm able to make the schedule around my schedule, so I'm like, okay, so on Thursdays, his classes we might do them a little later in the evening versus like, because I, work in the morning, and then, but the other days we can do it in the morning, we can make the schedule what we need it to be. And so that's a blessing as well. So thank God, man. Thank God for this. Again, things being according to his plan. Let me tell you guys another reason. So for everybody that keep asking me why y'all decide to do this, the other thing for me is the system of school is weird up here where we are. Like they got this thing called lotteries, and maybe this is the big thing or the normal thing for big cities or something. But I grew up in a small town, so when I grew up, there was only one elementary school, one middle school, one high school. So you knew where you were going. It wasn't no, oh, you might go over here, you might go over there. And it's so weird to me because when we filled out the information, I think it was like last year we filled out the information for him in school. But we didn't, but anyway. So we filled out the information for him, and but we didn't have all of our information for him to go ahead and go to the school that they put him in. They put him in a school like down the street, like way down the street. But then there's a school like right around the corner from us. So I'm like, why wouldn't he just go to that school? Why he got to go to the school all down the street? Like, and I don't know, something about that was just weird to me. I'm like, I don't understand what's happening, what they doing. And so when when this came, the opportunity to do virtual public school came across again, because I had already looked into it, but when my mom mentioned it earlier this year, and I looked back into it and come to find out the school that she was talking about was one that I had already started filling out information for anyway, I was like, it just made the process easier. You know what I'm saying? It was like, okay, I fill out the information, I go get the stuff that needs to be uploaded. That's it. And he's in this school. Like, it's not like we filling out information. We don't know what school he's gonna be in. Oh, which one he's gonna be in, And then it's like, oh, he's in this one that's all the way over there. And then you're like, well, what about this one, right? So all of that was a lot for me. So that was another reason as well, alongside of, again, the issues and stuff that are being taught and stuff like that these days, and me wanting to be involved and stuff like that. So those are the main things. And so we're going to see again what this is like if he does do this K through 12. They say that they have things like graduation and prom, so he won't be missing out on that type of stuff. And then, like I said, I mean, they in the orientation, they were sharing a lot about like field trips and stuff of that nature. And I mean, now for me, and they were talking about monthly field trips. And I'm like, wow, because growing up, I think we got maybe like one field trip a year or something like that. So if they go in places monthly, like that's a blessing, you know what I'm saying? So I just like that there's, other options available. And so, like I said, this is still the public school, a public school thing. So I still got to, keep my eyes on it and ears and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, I feel pretty good about everything, and I want to start his day off with prayer meditation. Like we already was doing that type of stuff anyway. But I'm thinking about finding one that's specifically for him, instead of the one that I'm using for me. And then I still want to do the juice, so that's another thing too. I'm still planning on getting up at my time. Maybe I'll start back being more intentional about having it out by 6 like I used to do. But we'll see. But anyway, that's what's going on, man. Like I said, a lot of new stuff on the horizons. But let me let y'all go. Y'all have a wonderful Monday, and y'all look forward to talking to y'all on Tuesday, if the Lord's will. Bye.